It's XL Primetime, featuring Joe C.
Why in the world am I sitting back and being quiet about this?
Matt Hayes.
Oh, my God, this is ridiculous.
And Leon Searcy.
If you can't hang with the big dogs, stay on the porch.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
Well, we are definitely waiting to see what's going to happen next with your Jacksonville Jaguars. It is hump day. It is midweek. And, well, they're nowhere near getting over the hump right now when it comes to hiring a head coach. There are vacancies scattered across these United States of America. It's not just here, there, and there. The only one that was filled was the one that was probably already penciled in, and that's Mike Vrabel to New England. So anyway, we're going to keep you going with the head coaching search, and we'll probably lay out a case or two for what side we are on when it comes to that. But we got plenty of other things to get into. Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. We say thanks to them. It's cold outside, but you definitely could still get on out there, either work on your game or play a round. We just need to see a little sunshine. Wouldn't you appreciate just a little sunshine?
Always. Yes, absolutely.
Like I told you.
Some. I mean, I rub it on my face in the mornings.
Yeah.
Even when I'm taking out the trash.
Not this morning you didn't.
Yeah.
No chance you did this morning.
It is overcast.
It was like 37 this morning. You're not rubbing anything other than getting back in that house.
Bro, I don't care how cold it is. I always find the sunshine.
That's true. That's an attitude and a mindset, which is great. But these are the winter days that I always like. I take a shot at Indiana, take a shot at a few other places, but when it's rain and cold, I'm putting the Indiana sticker on it.
It's always Indiana too.
Yeah, I know.
So
like I said,
cold.
I will pick another one at another time, but that's the one that I've got right now. And but I just need to see the sun. That's really all I want more than anything else.
Just some heat would be good too.
But our 12-day winter is just way too long. So, but anyway, we got the NFL head coaching search that we will keep an eye on, and at least what it's looking like for a few places is like maybe having the inroad on one guy versus the other that we will at least lay out today, and then start talking a little more about the divisional playoffs, because we're talking about one of the biggest games that we've anticipated in a long time, and that's the MVP race being played out on the football field before we know who the MVP is in 2024, and that's Buffalo v. Baltimore. That's just going to be a great, great game. So we're going to have a little fun with that a little bit later on and jump in on that game. Last night, Florida Gators lose by a point to Mizzou. They were the top 5 team in the country. As a matter of fact, a couple of top 5 teams went down in the college hoop world. So we will definitely touch on that coming up in just a little bit. But right now, I think this is probably the thing we want to lead off with, JJ. A little college ball.
Time to drop some college knowledge on XL Primetime. Brought to you by Modelo, the official beer of the College Football Playoff.
So we have the College Football Playoff, which will be coming up on Monday night. Ohio State, the decided favorite over the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, and the official beer of the College Football Playoff is Modelo. So you're going to enjoy one of those anytime you're talking ball. But this one is off of the national championship radar, but it's right here on our SEC country radar. So Matt Hayes pins a piece, USA Today Sports, and it basically lays out the path, or the timeline, I should say, Matty, of where Carson Beck thought about going and then eventually ended up going. All of it was to not go to the National Football League, but to come back and play his college ball. So, set the table for us.
So Carson initially declared for the NFL draft, which we all know, and then last week it started changing a little bit, and he started looking at his options. And once he put his name in the portal, the first team to contact him and offer him was Georgia. The team that, prior to that, there's all this narrative out there, and people were writing that, there was a soiled relationship and Georgia didn't want it. Of course Georgia wanted him. Of course they did. The second team to reach out to him was Alabama. So if you don't think this kid can play, and if you think he's a guy that he's the reason Georgia struggled, 2 of the 4 biggest programs in the country wanted him to play and wanted him to play immediately. And then, we'll throw Miami in top. We'll throw Miami in top
40?
15, 20.
Did you say top 4 or top 40?
25.
It don't matter right now. He's enrolled. He could be wherever he wants.
And then he accepted a deal with Miami and moving forward. Yeah, look, the bottom line is this: I don't know why Georgia fans are upset. I don't know why Alabama fans. I know why Alabama fans are upset because they think, well, this means our quarterback room isn't what we think it is. Okay, I don't know why Georgia fans are upset. He was there for 5 years. He gave that program 5 years. He waited 3 years to play.
I will call him the LeBron of Athens.
He's just. I think
LeBron gave Cleveland 7 years before he left.
Right. It's not. It's
and everyone still
in
was
this
on
day and age where specifically quarterbacks, not so much players, but now players all the time too. A free player movement. Guys leave after 1 year if they're not playing. He could have left any number of times and gone to any number of major Division I, FBS, however you want to look at it, schools. Okay,
Yeah. Comparable.
Yes, comparable schools, and he didn't. He was loyal to the program. He stayed there. He played at a high level for them. They had 31 drops this year. They had their worst rush game ever under Kirby. 50 yards lower than his previous worst. 50 yards a game average lower than the previous worst. They gave up their most sacks ever under Kirby. You cannot. They had a number one receiver who had 10 drops. So everybody out there who's blaming Carson Beck, it's ridiculous. He's not the reason.
Yeah, he did not.
There's a multitude of reasons why Georgia regressed, and we say regressed, and that's stupid because they won the SEC. But when they got to the playoff, in their first game after getting a bye, they played a hot Notre Dame team that was playing really well on defense, and Georgia got exposed.
Yeah,
absolutely got exposed. So I just think it's interesting how you've got Georgia fans so up in arms about there's no way we want it. Yes, you did. Your coach was the first guy to reach out to him, and then Alabama reached out to him. So if you think this kid's trash, which is what all you see on social media now, no. Y'all might want to think again.
Yeah, listen.
They got Gunner.
When he went to they got Gunner. When he went to Miami, the Georgia fans here that I was talking to was like, "Oh, you can have him." I was like, "Really?" We'll take a 29-3 starter. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're going to miss him when he's gone. That's what usually happens.
Hey, write that down. That's a country song right there.
You're all going to miss him when he's gone. Yeah. We'll gladly take him. Absolutely. And if his girlfriend had anything to do with it, absolutely she did. She's a basketball player for the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah. Of course she influenced to come down.
She is an influencer.
She may or may not have said, baby.
Come on. Listen, baby, we can make this happen down south.
Just like Bill Belichick was drawn to Chapel Hill. Exact same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
College age girlfriend. Same thing.
Yeah. And we got a lot of positive going for us down in Miami. First of all, we're not in the SEC. All right. It's going to be a much easier.
I don't know if that's a positive.
It is. It's going to be. We're going to be. Yeah. What Cam Ward did. I mean,
at some point when he's looking across the line of scrimmage and thinking he's in a big game and he's in Winston-Salem playing Wake Forest, he might be like, all right, I should have stayed at Georgia.
But guess what? But his
stats may improve dramatically.
Exactly. Well, he's across from Wake Forest throwing 4,500 yards for 39 touchdowns and 4 picks. He's projected number 1 overall. I'm sure he's going to be very happy.
Truth.
They also play Notre Dame and Florida this year.
Absolutely, we do.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's certainly could help him reshape his draft prospects because he had fallen. Going into the season, there was people saying he was going to be the first overall pick. At the very least, the first quarterback pick.
He was a Heisman favorite.
Yep.
So he goes into the season, he struggles, his draft prospects dim a little bit. Then he tears the ulnar, which is a significant injury. It's a 6-month rehab.
Yeah.
So that also hurts his draft prospects. And the reality is if he goes back and plays another year and has a big season and leads Miami to the playoff and they go deep in the playoff, that will change people's mind. There's no doubt about it because he has all the physical ability in the world.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you said that because that's where I was going. He's still 6'5". Am I right? He's still 6'5". Yeah. He's still going to be able to run like the wind. He can move. He's got a good arm, all that stuff. And then, the teams he faces, the yards he puts together, Miami definitely, the way Mario has done it, he's been able to answer the bell from one good quarterback transfer to another good quarterback transfer. And this is a rehab mission that Beck is on in terms of, and not necessarily the fans out there because they clobber you no matter what, but it's a rehab mission in terms of what scouts and GMs and coaches think of him next level.
By the way, I did text Mario and congratulate him on Carson Beck, and he sent me a wink and a fist pump.
I just think it's unfortunate that and I know you guys say it's the players, and it is about the players, but at some point, it's the player isn't the fault for everything, okay? There's other extenuating circumstances going on around that program. It's obvious there is.
Do you think the money was comparable
Trevor
at all
Etienne
the
left
places?
for the NFL.
Do you think the money was comparable at all 3 places?
I don't know. But I would guess that if You're talking about 3 heavyweight programs like that? Yeah, it probably was.
Okay, well, let's at least throw that narrative out there. And you want to talk about the way social media works. They conveniently pile on Carson when he's gone. The other part of the social media world is saying SEC is dead and done because they don't have the booster dollars, the deeper pockets that some of these other universities have. I don't think that's necessarily true, but Nick intimated that when he was on his way out in Tuscaloosa. And there's going to be financial challenges when it comes to meeting the checkbook of other universities.
Well, it was all unfair game when they were doing it on the table, and everybody else wasn't doing it. I'm just saying.
I also think I also think part of this is Georgia's lost a lot in the last 2 years in the portal. A lot.
Yeah.
And the idea that, if someone gets hurt or if someone's not playing well, the next guy behind him is going to play just as well. It's not there anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think that's also part of this problem now, too, for Georgia fans to kind of accept that you're not going to keep these 4- and 5-star guys stacked and packed and ready to go on the bench because
they had it made for a long time.
Yes, if they don't play after 1 year, they are leaving. They're going to find some other place that will pay them. Now, Kirby's done a good job in the portal already. He got Noah Thomas from Texas A&M. Noah Thomas is an elite receiver. Mm-hmm. He's a big-time player. He got Branch from USC, who is a big-time player. So they've got guys coming in next year. The question is, is Gunnar Stockton the guy? Yeah. Is Puglisi the guy? Who knows? Yeah. We'll see.
So, Matt, let me ask you this question. When it comes to Kirby, I mean, he's known to be a pile driver. He's known to be kind of hard on players, and these players now, and these players, well, like you said, he keeps his thumb on. Yeah. He keeps his thumb on the triggers, not so to say.
He's a great coach. He's the best coach in college
but I'm saying
football,
could that be a reason why a lot of some of these players are maybe swaying away from Kirby?
You know what? You are a former player. You know this, but again, you're different. You are different than anyone else. Like some players actually want that.
Yeah.
They thrive under a guy who's giving them discipline and direction. Others do not. Mm-hmm. And he's, it's up to him and his staff to recruit the guys that want that. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't get guys like that.
But Kirby, you can definitely watch him.
Let me be very clear. I'm not saying Carson's that kind of guy. All I'm telling you is you guys asked me about Kirby being hard on. He's not. He's hard on players. He's hard on assistants. He's hard on his staff.
Yeah.
He wants to win. He's demanding perfection.
When I say the thumb on him,
accepting mediocrity.
He never lets up.
Well, I mean, he keeps his thumb on the panic button. He keeps everybody. Because I told you when I went up there about 6 years ago to the coaches clinic, the first thing it reminded me of was Jimmy, and I absolutely loved it because he stayed on everybody the whole practice.
I
want to kick their ass.
Absolutely.
He's not accepting mediocrity. He just won't.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to ride that wave, okay? Mm-hmm. When do I let off the gas? When do I pat him on the back? And you can see him on the sidelines. He's even trying to coach himself through some of these bad situations, like don't freak out, don't Brian Kelly this cat when he walks off the field. Just go easy. And so and look, he's been accused of this, of just being kind of a tyrant and over the top. He learned from the best. Nick would lose his stuff every once in a while, but he still would constantly get his guys to ramp back up and answer the bell.
If you ask me what one thing that Kirby took away from Nick, I would say it's Nick's philosophy that mediocre people don't like high achievers and high achievers don't like mediocre people.
Mm-hmm. That's
simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's what Kirby believes in. That's what Nick believes in. That's how they built that program. That is essentially the process in a nutshell.
Yeah, and you got to get it every single day.
Yeah,
and as soon as you think and this is this is the fight. The fight will always be the fight that once you succeed, you put your feet up and I'm moving away from the mic and I start to relax.
I've told you guys over and over, like the greatest gift that Saban has, and now Kirby too, is you win the championship, but you convince that team that this year, guess what? There's different gold up there on the top of the mountain. Go get it. Yeah. And they do. And that's Kirby's the best coach in college football. It's not even a question, okay? I'm not even saying that. All I'm saying is I just didn't like the fact that how everybody was jumping on Carson Beck for the last week.
Yeah.
And it's just not right. It's not right, and it's not smart.
I would say it about Saban all the time. He had that rare quality of he didn't make his guys feel like they had accomplished nothing. He just gave them a new goal to shoot for, and he did it weekly. Not just annually, weekly. He was just a master at it.
He still is.
Yeah.
He still is. He had one off year.
Yeah.
The reality
I'm talking about Nick.
Okay, I'm talking about Kirby because the reality is last year they should have been in the playoff.
Yeah.
And they more than likely would have won the playoff last year had they gotten in it.
They could have been back to back to back because they did get hosed. They went from first to sixth? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Sixth. Oh,
so
my gosh.
never before in the history of the playoffs that happened.
All right, so we'll keep it going. We're at least going to give you a little bit each day as we get closer because the college football season the books will be closed on it. I know that it's not an SEC team in the national championship game, but we still like talking about it, and it's Ohio State versus Notre Dame, so we'll give you something each day to be thinking about on that. Golf Club of Southampton, they bring you today's show. We'll tell you all about them as we go along today. Let's get to the Jaguar coaching search. If you guys got some thoughts on what we just said about Carson Beck, by all means, hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010 or jump in the YouTube chat.
If your favorite colors are teal and black,
I love my Jaguars.
you're on the right track.
Let's go, Jags!
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's playoff time, and now's the time to cash in on the postseason. Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, and the place for all the action during the playoffs is Hard Rock Bet, all the way to the big game. HardRock.bet running new promos every day to start the new year, including football specials, odds boost, so you can make the most of every bet. It's so easy to download the app and immediately get in on the action. Just search Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Epic offers. Factory direct pricing on AC equipment from Epic Cool Heating and Air. Call 904-859-EPIC. Epic discounts for military, police, first responders, and 1010 listeners like you. Epic Cool Heating and Air.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
She's very comfortable talking sports and hanging out with the boys.
Mia O'Brien here, still providing the best multimedia sports coverage in Northeast Florida on 1010XL radio, video, and social channels.
All things Mia are driven by Arlington Toyota.
Making a difference in our community for 2025, Paul Martinez here, President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Northeast Florida. The Boys and Girls Clubs offers a safe environment to youth every day with homework assistance, a hot meal, career readiness, and character and leadership programs. 57% of club alumni say the Boys and Girls Club saved their lives. Help us grow our outreach as we serve the kids in our community throughout our 59 clubs. Go to bgcnf.org to donate and learn more.
Hey gang, Prosser here, and I've been telling you for years about Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Lifetime Enclosures right now running an awesome special for January. Get a complete enclosure done, get free flooring. Now that can save you some money. If you just need flooring, Lifetime Flooring also running a buy one room, get the second room free. Once again, only for January. Now offering flooring coating as well. So give them a call. I know I did. Visit their showrooms just off Phillips Highway. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Looking for a new or used firearm?
Beaches Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach will get you locked and loaded. New firearms coming in weekly and always looking for used guns. No lines and no waiting. Online at beachesjewelryandpawn.com.
Prosser here. When it comes time to sell your home or you're thinking about selling your home, wouldn't you really love a guaranteed no-hassle home sale? But you don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it? Guess what? You can with Chad and Sandy. If you want to sell your home soon, you need to get the process started now and get it sold fast, easy, and at top dollar with Chad and Sandy Newman. Local real estate experts I trust and recommend and have now for years. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Mike and Rosemary in St. Augustine write in, we needed to move on to a more affordable home in a specific school zone, but our mortgage pre-qualification wasn't enough and at a high interest rate. Chad and Sandy negotiated with a lender, lowered the interest rate by 1%, and increased our approval amount. We got the home we needed for $200 less per month than our prior lender's rate. That's what you get with Chad and Sandy. That guarantee. Call today, 414-6200, or go to chadandsandy.com.
Nick in here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, huge game this weekend between the Ravens and the Bills. And somebody we've been watching all playoffs to see if he'll play, Zay Flowers, was not practicing again today. So Ian Rappaport says he was told Zay Flowers was an outside chance to play this weekend anyway. No practice Wednesday does not appear to be a good sign.
That's such a bummer. Zay Flowers was really starting this year, and it's been going on the entire season. I can look up his numbers, but he was really starting to crank. He had a feel for being that number one and Lamar's number one target. Now, most people would say, wait a minute, Mark Andrews is the number one target for Lamar, but just having that wide receiver become a major threat. Zay was figuring it out. I hate it for him.
Yeah. Is he injured or hurt? That's the question.
Well, it's so
there's a lot of adrenaline that's involved when you're playing in the game, and sometimes you find a way to play because you can rest in the offseason.
Oh, I know. But this happened 2 weeks ago, and I saw it, and I almost thought hyperextension. I wasn't radio doctor that I am. I wasn't 100% sure, and then they've never really said exactly what it is. At first, I'm thinking it was at the top of the shin.
They're saying knee.
Yeah, and they stayed with it being the knee. But I thought hyperextension of the knee.
Yeah.
It just did not look good, and he was crawling in pain. And so anyway, I was hoping he'd come back, but then remember what you and I talked about, Rashad Bateman stepping right in there, and he scored this past week.
Absolutely.
And so they have that receiver position really starting to thrive.
Yeah, but you're going to need an arsenal. I mean,
against Buffalo.
This is a fist fight.
It is.
You need your weapons.
And the other thing, and we brought this up last week, but it's worth repeating because it blew my mind. Zay Flowers was on his way to being a Pro Bowler and still is recognized as that, but the Baltimore Ravens have never had a Pro Bowl wide receiver. Remember that? We were talking about that last week?
That's crazy to me.
It just blew my mind.
They had a bunch of kick returners, right? But never a wide receiver.
Yeah, they had the Duvernays and the
Jermaine.
Jermaine Lewis. Jermaine Lewis, who came here after being a Pro Bowler up there. And Jacoby Jones, I think, was the other one. Anyway, that's it. But Zay not practicing definitely is not a good sign. There's a few other guys. We'll get with our radio doctor, the ortho, Gio, a little bit later on. We'll talk a little bit more about some of those sports injuries. But let's at least get to the head coaching search and where we are. I just want to point this out to you guys. And it happens more and more every single year. If you're not feeling like you've got the right guy, the one and dones are probably starting to pop up a little bit more than maybe we've seen. In Doug's case, it was 2 winning seasons, 1 losing season, and Peterson was bounced here because the way things unfolded. But all I have to do is go back to last year. Matt, you were talking about this in the pre-show. Like, where are they? Why isn't anything happening? Well, everyone's just kind of in a little bit of a stall mode because they were able to conduct only so many interviews with available candidates, and then those candidates got to go back to work and play or coach in the playoffs. But I go back last year, there were 3 former coaches of the year that were fired last year, including the GOAT. Let's not forget Bill Belichick,
right?
Who still hasn't put his staff together in North Carolina.
I was going to say, who was still technically available.
Yeah. Is one of the guys who got canned last year. Pete Carroll got canned. Ron Rivera. Those were the 3 coaches of the year. And then they went out there and they got rid of other guys. Gerard Mayo, a one-and-done guy. Antonio Pierce from the interim to the head coach, a one-and-done guy. Brian Callahan almost thought that he might be losing his job after 1 year, but they're going to keep him up there in Tennessee. But I'm just looking at the handful of hires that took place last year. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh, once again, looks pretty good other than he just got bounced from the postseason. But he took a team that was, I believe, last place last year in the AFC West and got them to the postseason.
Dan Quinn?
Yeah, Dan Quinn steps right in and takes over for Rivera. Dave Canales has done an okay job at the end for Carolina because that was a bad situation that he walked into. Remember, they sat Bryce Young down and then brought him back because of injury to Andy Dalton, and he was able to play much better. And so Canales probably gets a little credit for that, just kind of maybe giving Carolina a little more hope heading into the offseason because they got a decent run game. Raheem Morris went up to replace Arthur Smith. They started okay, didn't necessarily finish the way that they would like to. He's done an okay job.
And now Arthur Smith is literally at the top of the list right now, guys.
He's one of them for sure. He's definitely one of them. And then Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald left Baltimore and went up and won 10 ball games with Seattle. That's pretty damn good. And so he's a guy that came from the defensive side. So let's use him. You know what? Let's use him and Dan Quinn as a couple of examples. We're sitting here, and we were talking a minute ago, Leon, about I want you to give your top 5 as far as the coaching candidates for the Jags. But both Mike McDonald and Dan Quinn are considered defensive guys and went and took over posts. For Dan Quinn, it was his second time. For Mike McDonald, it was his first. Both of them got to double-digit wins. One got to the postseason, and one has now won a playoff game. McDonald did a pretty dang good job up in Seattle, and, of course, Dan Quinn has.
Well, Dan Quinn, I mean, he's got a semi-unicorn up there at the quarterback position.
Very much so.
Plays tough, hard-nosed defense, runs the ball effectively. But I mean, Jay Daniels, man. I midway through the season, I had him in the MVP race because he was that dynamic. They cool up to him a little bit, but this kid's poised. I mean, he's got ice water in his veins, especially in the playoffs. The way he scrambles, the way he makes the plays, he stays in the pocket, and all that kind of stuff. And now he's got a playoff win to add on to that. So. Yeah, I mean, if you have the right personnel, especially at the quarterback position, I mean, you're going to win a lot more than you lose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most important position on the field. It just is. It just is. And you can see how quickly things change when you get it right. And when the guy coaching him is helping you get it right. Like, you can have a great quarterback, but if he's not in the right system or if he doesn't have the pieces around him, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. So that's where – I mean, Caleb Williams is in that situation. Trevor Lawrence is in that situation. You can go down the line of young guys where you're like, all right, I don't know if they're where they need to be, or is it going to work? But if you get in the right situation, Jared Goff got in the right situation. Look at him now, right? So it's just
coached tremendously well. And by the way, he was coached well out there. They just wanted a little bit more by going and getting the other guy who was obviously Matt Stafford was as accomplished a quarterback without a winning team around him as there was in the National Football League.
Duckbo.
Yeah.
Goes to Denver.
Yeah.
Really coached well. Look how well he played this year. He had 29 touchdown passes this year.
Yeah. He really,
as a rookie.
He surprised a heck of a lot of people.
So you definitely have to get the right guy, but he's got to be coached well too. And he's got to be put in position to reach that ceiling. You got to put pieces around him so he can reach that.
So here you go ahead.
No, I was also going to say the coordinator. I mean, Kingsbury. I mean, he had to reinvent himself because when he was at Arizona, he was run out of town. Because he couldn't get it right with what's his name?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And now he comes to the Commanders, and you get Jaden Daniels, and they run essentially the same system.
Yeah.
And have had success at it.
Which
So,
was
there's a resurgence for him, too.
It is classic that he went from had a losing record in college, comes out of nowhere, hired as an NFL head coach. It doesn't work out because they thought they made it to the postseason, and then they kind of Kyler had the injury stack up on him. Anyway, they bounce Kingsbury, and then he has a chance to come back in. Like you said, he's reclaimed his reputation. But use what they did and apply it here. Can you hire a defensive coach, and that's organized, passionate, has a plan, all that stuff, and then go hire the right OC to rescue Trevor in this offense? One of the texters on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures says, we all watched the Tampa Bay-Washington game. Can Trevor execute either of those offenses like Baker and Jaden do? I don't know. We need to have – we thought Doug Peterson was going to be able to deliver an offense that Trevor could thrive in.
Well, we've only seen it once from Trevor, and that's the back end of 2022.
Yeah.
Where he went 12-1.
Yeah.
And
that's
12
enough
touchdowns.
That's enough for me, man.
It was good.
So's the Chargers game. That's enough for me, too.
Yeah.
And not only that, just other games throughout this now nightmarish 4 seasons for him.
But also,
you can see he has the ability to be that type of player.
Use Baker as your example. Baker was in some pit positions, and you can replace pit with something else.
Yeah.
That rhymes with it. He was in some pit positions.
I knew where you were going. Don't worry.
Yes, he was, man. And so once he gets to a place where there's some good around him and good instruction, coaching, game planning, and this was from Dave Canales to his old offensive coordinator last year, who was hired up in Carolina, to now Liam Cohen. He has good around him, and he looks like a different dude. Baker is a much better player now. Now, he still made that one mistake, that turnover, which will drive him crazy down there in Tampa Town, but he is a good example. When you get good instruction, good leadership, good around you, you got a chance.
He's also grown. He's also grown.
Yeah.
He has. I mean, you can't ignore that either. You spend 4 or 5 years in the league and you start understanding what it's all about. You know, the 5th and 6th years. Denny says this all the time. You got to wait till like the 6th or 7th year before you can truly understand how far a quarterback has come in the NFL. So, you grow, you mature, you understand the defenses, you understand what's asked of you. You get pieces put around you, and you start to develop.
Yeah. All right, so we'll keep it going on that front. Talk about at least a few other guys, because the reason I bring that up is, would you be okay with an Aaron Glenn, with a Robert Saleh, who is considered a very good defensive guy, somebody like that, Patrick Graham coming in and being your new leader, but then you got to make sure you get the right offensive mind coming in here. So we'll get into that coming up. 641-1010, Golf Club of Southampton Wednesday. We say thanks to them. You definitely can enjoy, especially if it's kind of cold, you don't want to play a 4-hour round, just head on out. Check out their member area, member privileges, and you definitely can get a great discount right now with their membership drive initiation fee. You commit to 12 months. That means you're going to be a member there, and take a look. It's hard to get these country club memberships priced right. Kind of expensive out there, but you can get a great deal. Check it all out at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Now, the Florida Gator Report on 1010XL, brought to you by San Jose Collision.
The Gators suffered an extremely tough loss to the Missouri Tigers Tuesday night, 83-82, falling for the first time in the O-Dome this season. The Gators made an effort to come back after being down 14 at the half, but ultimately fell short. They've got a few days off to recover before the Texas Longhorns come to Gainesville Saturday, as the Gators look to get back on track.
Rev up your life with luxury at Vaughn Motor Group on San Jose Boulevard. Right now, used car prices are 12% lower than their peak in April of 2022, making this the perfect time to drive home in a dream car. Specializing in luxury used vehicles, offering you elegance at prices that are finally coming back down to earth. See special listings in the newspaper every Saturday or online at vaughnmotorgroup.com for a complete inventory listing. If you can dream it, you can drive it at Vaughn Motor Group.
Mia here for MyBookie. It's win or go home. The NFL playoffs are the ticket to the biggest game of the year, and all roads lead to New Orleans. The NCAA playoffs will set the stage, but this is your chance to get in on every high-stakes moment along the way. Your road to New Orleans starts now with MyBookie. MyBookie is the ultimate destination for bettors who want more. Whether you're betting the underdogs or riding with the favorites, every drive, every touchdown, every moment is an opportunity to win big. Kick off your 2025 right with risk-free Thursdays. Place a bet, and if it doesn't hit, MyBookie has your back. Dive into the Bet Boost tab to supercharge your picks and build that bankroll before the big game. And when the games are over, the action does not stop, folks. MyBookie's online casino keeps the excitement going 24/7. Blackjack, roulette, slots, it's all there. Whether you're celebrating a big win or gearing up for the next round. Haven't joined yet? Now's the time. Use promo code 1010XL on your first deposit, and MyBookie will hook you up with an instant bonus because you deserve to start the year off right.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's contestant, a professional stamp licker from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Martin Celery.
Oh, gosh. I can't wait to play, Bob.
Well, let's move things along. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
Wait, but
That's right, Marty. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, we've stocked up on the remaining inventory of low-cost 2024 model air conditioners. So you win. We're passing the savings on to you.
Can I answer a question first?
We need to make room for the 25s, so we're offering great deals on AC replacements while supplies last.
Could I spin the wheel at least? I've been practicing for a year.
With last-minute deals like this, there's no question that you are cool.
What do I tell my kids?
There you go. Have a souvenir t-shirt.
Thanks.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Nick in here with a message from Zero Res. Did you have people over for the holidays? Kids everywhere, dirt everywhere, all over the carpets, the rugs, the sofas, and chairs. Did the kitchen tile take a beating? Sounds like it's time to call my guys over at Zero Res. The Zero Res techs will get the house looking great again. Folks, if you need help cleaning up after the holiday, give Zero Res a call. Right now, 25% off carpet cleaning, 25% off upholstery cleaning. Zero Res, spell it forwards. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 15th, 1965, one of the biggest trades in NBA history took place. The San Francisco Warriors sent NBA legend Wilt Chamberlain to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art? At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary. At First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer. Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
21 minutes in front of the 3 o'clock hour. It's XL Primetime. Thanks for hanging with us, especially if you are bundled up inside. I always try and remember exactly how he tells us to pronounce his name on the text line. I think it's Sleevage.
That's right, Sleevage. He said Sleevage, just like cleavage.
Yeah. I was trying to remember his rule of thumb. I was just making sure.
Because he's got the tats on his sleeve, so he calls himself Sleevage.
Yeah, Sleevage, which makes 100% sense to me.
100%.
Yeah, 37 degrees as he's texting in from us. Anyway, so if you're anywhere bundled up inside, you still might be outside working. I see all y'all out there working hard. Even when it's cold. We appreciate it, that's for sure. On the app, on the radio dial, AM, FM, on the stream, whatever it might be. On YouTube, anywhere, we definitely appreciate it. So we got to get at least into a couple of guys that have committed to the National Football League, including Quinn Ewers. But let's repeat what we started off our show with, Matt, real quick, because this is a story you can find at USA Today or at Matt Hayes CFB, On 3, and many others picked it up. But the idea that Carson Beck originally committed to the National Football League, then may or may not have gotten a great review in terms of what his draft grade would be, and then made the decision
to go back into college football, into the transfer portal, and Georgia and Alabama were the first two teams to reach out to him.
Tide and his old team, the Dogs. And we even laid the theory out, and this is something we had fun talking about. What if they didn't want him, or what if he didn't want them? And that is certainly a good discussion up there in Athens. Change of scenery, get me out of here, let me go somewhere where I want to be to end my career.
I couldn't see him going to Alabama. I mean, the reason why he went back and declared to come back another year is when he lost in the SEC championship. The whole premise behind him coming back was unfinished business.
Right.
So to go to Alabama, I mean, that's like Kevin Durant going to Golden State.
Well, I mean, not only that, I don't know why it's created such an uproar. This is your college football now. This is it.
Yeah.
This is free player movement.
And so just
this
repeat
is guys leaving from one program going to another program because they're doing what's best for them.
So you're saying the sweepstakes was on?
Yeah, it's not even really a sweepstakes. It was just one guy felt what was best for him was Team A. Just like any other guy when they leave thinks what's best. Like Jackson Arnold thought Auburn was best for him.
Right.
John Mateer, who was the number one quarterback out there until Carson decided to come back in.
Right.
John Mateer from Washington State decided, all right, Oklahoma's the best place for me.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying when I say sweepstakes is that Alabama was quickly jumping in when he decided that he might be coming back.
When Alabama heard he was in the portal, of course. Yeah. Why wouldn't any team reach out to him, right? Yeah. That's kind of the thing I'm looking at.
Okay.
I don't understand what the issue is. First off, I never understood why Georgia fans were all upset with Carson Beck anyway.
Right.
We've already gone over that. Yeah. That's ridiculous. But now you're upset because now Georgia was first in line to offer or interested in him, and now here we are. You're upset again?
Right, because you got to know this time. All right, so Quinn Ewers, what kind of draft grade? We were talking about this earlier, maybe even last week, about where he might go in the draft. What did we say? What was that?
If he doesn't get picked in the first round, he'll probably actually lose money. Because my guess is he probably would have made a similar type deal as John Mateer, as Carson, as the elite quarterbacks. You're talking a multi-million-dollar deal.
And it's been pointed out in the text line that you'll make more in today's college world if you're a top flight.
If you're not a first-round pick, yeah.
Right. And so your first-rounders are making $850, maybe nearly $9, something like that.
Well, Levis was picked with the second overall pick in the second round, okay, 2 years ago. And he's making $1.03 million a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, at some particular point, I would think that a college player will get tired of college. I mean, even the money is good, but I mean, a guy like Quinn Ewers might be in a situation where he says, man, I'm ready to get my career going in the NFL. So let me go ahead and start playing ball in the NFL. Why? I mean, how much more does he need? Does he have to do in college to decide that he wants to go pro?
And honestly, the sooner you pin it, the sooner you get to pin the next one. And meaning, the sooner you sign that first contract, the sooner you're going to get to your second. If
you're good enough,
If you're good.
Yeah. I mean, we've all watched Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the arm to play in the NFL. I told you guys we had a lunch about this.
Yeah.
He's going to be one of the first 55 guys picked. I guarantee he will be.
JJ, let the record show he's gone to 55.
No, you said 55. I said 50. You said, I'll give you 5 more. So
45.
It's 55. I don't think he's that way, but I bet there will be someone who will pick him because that's what happens in that position. They panic.
Yeah.
Teams panic, and they want a quarterback, and they think they can make him the next Bo Nix or whoever quarterback you want to compare him to.
Yeah, and as much as I loved watching Duck Bo, I did not think he would be this good this fast. And it is a lot of credit to him and to what Sean Payton has done.
By the way, the physical difference between Bo Nix and Quinn Ewers is
Major.
night and day.
Yeah, major.
I mean, I'm not even talking about the body. I'm talking about the arm strength, the velocity, the quickness, how he gets it all. Everything is
he can run.
Yes.
Yeah. Bo can move.
Yeah, but where did that come from? You didn't see that in Auburn.
No.
Yeah, you did.
You
did.
You saw those stifling SEC.
You saw
defenses when he
moments
went on
of
the road.
it. You saw moments
Not
of it.
enough
Yeah.
moments of it.
Yeah.
He's also
the
like
other 3
4
years you
years
saw
older
him,
now.
You saw him like trying to run Gus Malzahn's little, whatever offense. Fake here, fake there, misdirection. Now try and throw the ball. I mean,
and
he's running
Duckbo,
for his life half the
he
time.
played 60-some games, so he had a chance to mature. he
Was he
came
a super senior?
Well, he was. But he was
yeah.
also in a very good system with a good coach. Wilstein's a good coach.
Yeah.
Knew what he was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to avoid. It's hard to not say, yeah, that's reality. It's hard to say Kenny Dillingham knew what he was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I look at that and think, again, what's what we talked about earlier. It's obviously the talent of the guy, but it's also who you're around, who's coaching you, what pieces they put around you. We cannot forget about that with Trevor Lawrence. You cannot forget about that. You can't just say, oh, Trevor's terrible, he's got to go. No.
Mm-hmm.
They've invested $275 million in him.
Right.
He's not going anywhere.
And
you've got to fix what's around him.
Right. And if you fix what's around him, then you may ultimately see you'll crack the code basically, and you'll find out if and I'll give you an example coming up here in just a second. But I just want to stay on the Georgia thing real quick, and then we'll get to. I'm glad you brought that up. Randy from Middleburg. We need to start shouting out little sections of the First Coast. 641-1010. He hit it. Randy from Middleburg, huge Georgia fan. Kind of bittersweet about Carson Beck, in my opinion. But keep in mind, fellas, his girlfriend goes to Miami also, and I believe she's more famous than he is. LOL. Love the show. And, yeah, that had an impact. There's no doubt. One dude did say he's dating the Cavender twins. I said you need to drop one S, okay, because that would really be sweet.
I mean, we joke about that. I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think it's a benefit of him going there,
Yeah,
of course.
don't say it didn't have anything.
No, I'm serious. I don't think it did. I think he wanted to go where he felt like he could have one more year to really show what he's got instead of the last tape that he gives the NFL is that season. That's what I think it was as much as anything. He's comfortable with Shannon Dawson, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens, man. Let the kid play.
He's a great OC.
Yeah.
He is.
Not enough people are talking about
he's really good at developing quarterbacks and calling plays. He's
Did you
very good
guys
at it.
watch that offense this year? They were obviously the best offense in America. Why wouldn't a quarterback want to go jump in that?
But it is kind of funny, though.
That you can take away his Miami bias, but he's right. They were one of the best offenses in the country.
But it is kind of funny, though. The guy that left also had a uber exciting offense, Rhett Lashley.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he was fun, but it was just a little different. It was just a little different.
A little bit.
And Dawson, you have to give Mario credit, and because he brought him in, and then Dawson credit
I love
for doing
it
what
because
he's doing.
Shannon's like a Mike Leach disciple. That's why I love it.
Yeah, but
Any of those Leach
and
together.
I'm a Lashley. I like that cat too. All right, so real quick, let's make this a 10-10 take, JJ, because Matt brought it up, and we've been bringing it up a bunch. But pieces around players make them better.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
So I just said pieces around him can make him better. That's like that dish. They say, what would you like, sir? And I'd say, I'd like a plate of ribs, like the all-you-can-eat at Sonny's right now. And they'll say, what would you like with it? And then you start adding in those sides. And that's what you have to have, a complement to that protein. Definitely check it out. Any one of your area Sonny's, enjoy it right now. But I'm just going to use this as an example. And Matt Stafford went to L.A. and has won a Super Bowl and obviously has good around him. But look at what Jared Goff has. This was a great piece. Who won the trade? The Lions, along with getting Jared Goff, got Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Broderick Martin, Josh Pascal. So the point is that they took all those draft picks, Brad Holmes, the general manager up in Detroit, who did the deal, and they brought Jared Goff and said, we're not going to give away everything, get you, and then not add good pieces around you. This team needs good pieces around Trevor. If you go back and think of what ETN did last year, and I'll look the numbers up and throw them at you guys coming up in just a bit, you would say to yourself, you know what? He was a good complementary piece. Well, take a look at what he and Tank added up to this year. Take a look at how few times ETN was in the end zone this year. This team needs to have more players with more juice, making more plays more often for Trevor to have a chance to succeed. That's the 10-10 take. It's totally legit.
I don't agree with your skill. I think they've got a very good tight end room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're now adding to it.
They've got a very good number one receiver. They need more. There's no doubt about it. They need 2 more receivers. All right. I think their running backs are better than average. Their tackles, I think, are solid. They're horrific on the middle 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they've got to. That's what they've got to focus on.
Yeah.
The middle 3. If you can focus on the middle 3 of that offensive line and you can fix that, then I think you've got a chance for him to really develop into the kind of thrower you think he can be.
Well,
because you can get receivers, Joe. You absolutely can get receivers.
Yeah.
And you could probably get Christian Kirk on a cheaper deal next year. So you can get guys. But you're not just going to magically find 3 interior guys and they're going to be great. You got to work at it.
No, and I think what I'm saying more than anything else is that I will never, ever leave the offensive line off my wish list because my theory
it's like shaving every day, baby.
Yeah. My theory is very simple. It helps everything, not just your pass protection for your quarterback, not just your blocking for your running back. It helps your defense because you get to hold the ball. And then it helps your scoreboard because you get to score. And then it helps your defense start to tee off on other quarterbacks because you've got the lead. And all those things, honestly, stem from a good line. I'll never, ever leave them off the list. That's for sure. But he has to have multiple things going his way.
Well, I can't wait for us to give everything Trevor needs so we can stop saying what he don't have.
Mm-hmm. It's fair. It's fair.
And I agree with that. But the problem is you've got a guy at GM who's, I don't know if you guys know this or not getting him what he needs.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
you sit there and say, okay, we're good. We're good with what we had last year in the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what GM in their right mind would look at that offensive line and say, yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Go roll it out there, man. Let's go, boys.
Yeah. and it's no
They gave
bueno.
a $30-something million contract to a guy who wasn't playing for the Vikings.
Yeah.
To be their starting left guard.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was... That's over a 3-year period, and that's just the price of doing business. I'm not saying it was a good deal.
Well, it's bad business.
Yeah,
right?
believe me, I'm not saying it was a good deal. And the interior still is a fail right now. So I'm not defending
a spectacular fail.
Yeah, I'm not defending any of those decisions, personnel decisions that Balky made.
He drafted a center who can't even play in the league anymore,
and it was a 3rd rounder. And
we've just forgotten about that too. We've all just forgotten about that.
Well, it's funny because you kind of look around, you start seeing other guys that are 2nd rounders, 3rd rounders, and whatnot that have stepped in and they've immediately made their presence felt, made themselves known because they are starters that are quality. And we can go to as soon as Mitch Morse left up in Buffalo, they moved one guy over, put him right in at center. We can go to
they go.
We can go to Creed Murphy that they went and got. And brought him into Kansas City, immediately became a starter.
Creed Humphrey,
yeah. We could. There's just so many of them.
That middle 3, they drafted the middle 3 there at Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're so good.
And signed their tackles.
And they drafted their left tackle. And they got Juwan. And I know you guys hate Juwan. I think Juwan is a good tackle.
Well, he ain't $80 million good.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm telling you is you line up with him out there, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Well, he was a heavily penalized player. And
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
He protects.
Yeah. Anyway.
A false start every now and then, I'm okay with that, man.
I would
play.
I would classify Juwan Taylor as him and Cam Robinson were in the same pile.
No chance, man.
Yes.
He's a much better player than Cam Robinson.
Slightly above average.
I don't agree with you at all.
Yeah, that's Leon. Hey, look at our Pro Bowler right there.
I know you. You feel the same way. I know you do. I look at him different. I think he's a really good player.
$60 million guaranteed. Woo! Searcy would take that right now.
All day.
Oh my gosh, it's XL Primetime.
From the preseason to the playoffs and every day in between.
Each man individually preparing himself to be the best he could possibly be. Better than he's ever been. Because that's what it's going to take.
At 1010XL, the season never ends. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Start your new year off healthy. Get screened at Ackerman Urology for common cancers of the prostate, bladder, and kidney. Early detection is key with 5 locations across Northeast Florida. Visit AckermanUrology.com.
Chose C for CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. They can transform your backyard with fire pits, pergolas, screen enclosures, and outdoor kitchens. And CSS handles the entire project from start to finish. You dream it, they build it. CSSOutdoor.com.
Homeowners, listen up. It's time to start fresh in 2025. Prosser here, and Loan Pronto is here to help take control of your finances in 2025 by lowering your house payments and consolidating that nagging debt. Did you know that 9 out of 10 borrowers get a better deal by calling Loan Pronto? Right now, Loan Pronto has some of the most competitive offers for refis, debt consolidation, and purchase loans, starting in the low 5s APR. If your current rate is over 6%, don't settle for paying too much. Even if you're in process with another lender, call Loan Pronto now. Lock in at a lower rate today and close in as little as 2 weeks, often with no appraisal. You can even skip your next 2 house payments. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Get your personalized Loan Pronto rate quote instantly with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees. Call now, 904-999-1508, or go to loanpronto.com. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Every Monday, David Garrard calls the signals and looks for you on Jaguars Today from 10 to noon.
Look past left, prong. Oh, ready.
Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
Duval.
On 1010XL.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. The playoffs are here, and that's a perfect time to play and win with PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Will Howard will throw for more than 2 touchdown passes in the national championship game? It's just that simple. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. PrizePicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. That's right. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit and cash out as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. PrizePicks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at PrizePicks. Run your game.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey with a question here. Was your goal to lose weight this new year? If so, are you already down 18 pounds? That's a serious question because I dropped 18 pounds in my first 3 weeks alone with Awaken 180 weight loss. That's how fast the weight can fall off when you choose the solution for weight loss. Each week, you look at the scale and the number goes down and down. Every morning you wake up, you feel better and better. For me, I love that instant feedback of knowing that Awaken 180 was working for me on a daily basis, experiencing those results. And given how easy Awaken 180 was, there was no way I wouldn't reach my goal, and I did. 25 pounds total thanks to Awaken 180, and I've kept the weight off since. The only weight loss program I know that puts their money where their mouth is. They're so confident in your success, they offer free support for life. A one-time investment in yourself for a lifetime of benefits online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
I'm Max Fink here with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. The Gators took an unfortunate loss in the O-Dome last night, their first of the season, in a 1-point defeat to the Missouri Tigers, 83-82. While the fifth-ranked Gators seem to be reeling this season, they got out to a cold start last night and trailed 50-34 at the half. Although they started to claw themselves back into it, it was not enough. Listen in to Coach Todd Golden's post-game thoughts on the heartbreaking loss.
Obviously, this is a very good team that we played tonight. 3-1 in the league, 14-3 overall. Smacked Kansas at home. Obviously, Coach Gates did a great job putting this team together and building a tournament team. Just really disappointed, by our lack of enthusiasm, energy, whatever you want to call it in the first half. Building a 16-point hole at home or anywhere for that matter is a really bad strategy.
It's 57 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Don't forget, they've got a heating department as well. We just don't talk about it as often because it is always hot and you need air conditioning, but Florida Home, definitely with this cold weather, they can help that HVAC unit. Now, it is a Wednesday. It is cold outside, and so we are going to shift gears. It's something we haven't done in a couple of weeks because either Maddie's been out or Big Search has been out, but it is time to head back to the courtroom, and here comes the judge.
Here comes the judge.
Order in the court.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
It is brought to you by Campione Law. Chris Campione, his entire group. They are all local, and they are ready to help you if you find yourself in front of the judge. Remember, CampioneLaw.com, and check out my buddy Chris and the rest of his team of attorneys. So I preside as Judge Joe in the 1010XL Primetime courtroom. Big Searcy, Leon Searcy will represent one side. Matt Hayes will represent the other side. And you guys can log on to YouTube and you can see the get up, because not only am I ruling with an iron fist and a big old wig, JJ is my bailiff. And JJ, lean over here so we can see you. All right. Oh, yeah. Look at that beautiful wig. He is a rock and roll.
I feel like Ben Franklin.
Exactly.
Like Droopy.
Yeah.
Droopy dog.
All right.
That's hilarious.
All right. Order. We need to get to this next case. It is the MVP case. You can make an argument for Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills. You can make an argument for Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Both, you might say, are deserving, but only one can win. And we figure this is a good time to do it because they are going head-to-head on Sunday. Leon Searcy, who will you represent?
I will be representing Lamar Jackson.
A.K.A.?
A.K.A. affectionately known as L Boogie.
L Boogie. Matt Hayes, you are representing.
I feel like those defense attorneys that know they've got a losing case, but they're going to argue it anyway.
Listen, Josh Allen.
Wait, I'm going to argue it now. I got a good argument for Josh.
That's a terrible way to start.
Yeah, Your Honor. Don't let him sway the court.
I'm being honest, because you know what? I want to set the bar low.
Don't let him sway the court, Your Honor.
I'm going to set the bar low, because when I come in high, you're going to be like, oh, he's right.
Counselor, do not waste the legal criminal
He's trying to
justice
sway the
system's
court, Your Honor.
time
He's trying to
with
sway the
frivolous
court.
cases, all right? We need to make sure there's merit to both sides.
Absolutely.
All right, so I just want to make this one statement, and that you guys can argue for both of these potential MVP winners. It is rare what we have seen. Rare is rare. I say it all the time. I'm a wise man because I'm a judge. But in NFL history, only 3 times have we seen a player with 40-plus total touchdowns, 500 rushing yards, and fewer than 7 picks in a season. And ladies and gentlemen, those 2 that are responsible for that, Lamar twice and Josh Allen once. That is impressive. So I want to hear your argument, Leon. Why should Lamar Jackson win the MVP?
Well, Your Honor, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit there. I was going to lead off with that, Your Honor, but no problem. I'm glad that you're very informed about that.
I was
yes,
excited about
Lamar
that
Jackson. Yes, Lamar Jackson.
I mean, that clearly shows where you're leaning, Your Honor. I object.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson is one player in NFL history to have 40 touchdowns and have 4 less interceptions. I don't even know why we're having this argument.
Saucy nugs.
We're already a 2-time winner, not a 2-time loser, but 2-time winner at the position, at MVP. I'm elusive. I've got speed. I've got arm strength. I've got escapability. I am box office. Bring your popcorn, Your Honor. All right? That's the one thing. All right? I'm led my team. In the past, have been the number 1 rushing team in the AFC. But not only that, this year we're the number 1 and we're a top 10 passing team as well. El Boogie is unequivocally the MVP this year. Not MVP, MV3 by Your Honor.
MV3,
Your
Searcy.
Honor.
All right.
So,
we've heard from one side. Let's hear from the other side. Matt Hayes, you are representing Josh Allen.
All right. I could easily start this thing by saying you can talk all those stats you want. You want to start talking about playoff wins? Because that's what it's all about.
Different argument.
It's what it's all about. Okay? I get it. I understand that the MVP is a regular season thing, but the league starts when the playoffs start. That's when the league starts. And OL Boogie, and I love that nickname. Not too good in the playoffs. Let me just say this.
I'll
okay?
remind you, Counselor, you are arguing an MVP case, which, as you clearly stated, is inside the regular
I can argue
playoffs.
however I want to argue.
Jury.
I don't care whose court it is, okay? You should know that because you're a judge and you know the Constitution.
Your Honor, I can bring up Patrick Mahomes to end all that playoff stuff right there.
Yeah. Jury, please ignore the last minute of that. Bailiff, make sure that you strike that
from the record. This is just a travesty of our Constitution. You're out of order.
Yeah.
You're out of order. You're all out of order.
Please continue. You only have so much rope left. Come on, let's go.
Okay. Let me just say this to you. Do these names mean anything to you, Your Honor?
Mm-hmm.
Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid, Mac Hollins, Dawson Knox. Any of those guys jump out to you?
They're a bunch of nobodies.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you for making my point. That's who Josh Allen's throwing to these days, okay? And the numbers are 28 touchdowns against 6 interceptions. He's having a phenomenal year despite the fact that he's got nobody. Nobody to throw to.
Draft better, Your Honor.
Excuse me. I didn't interrupt you.
Yes, you did. You did, actually.
Okay?
Overruled.
That's who he's working with. Not only that, he's second on the team with 12 rush touchdowns. Okay? Second on the team. So he's working with just guys in the pass game, still having one of the best throw games of anyone in the league right now. Okay? And he's got 12 rush touchdowns. And he's got the Bills in position to host a division round playoff game.
The one thing that is impressive about what Josh Allen has done, and Matt
And
Hayes,
he's won playoff games, just FYI.
As his representation, I will acknowledge that he has cleaned up his mistakes, and that is one recipe to being an MVP, is being not only the most valuable but the most improved player, because he had a long-standing record for throwing a pick every single ball game. And how many interceptions has he thrown this year?
6. Also, you're on a point of order. Mm-hmm. You began this entire process by showing your bias. The entire process.
I am an unbiased man behind the bench. I wear the robe.
So I believe I have a case for appeal if this doesn't go my way, all right?
Well, you can appeal all you want, okay? But we know that we have to arrive at a conclusion, and we have to make a declaration today, whether it's the MVP in the hands of Lamar Jackson, who has already won it twice, and Mr. Searcy, as you said, you've officially nicknamed him not only El Boogie, but
MV3.
I saw a few of those signs this past weekend. Lamar, though, has never won more than one playoff game in a playoff season. So the challenge is great for him right now, but I have to rule
Also, Your Honor. How did Lamar look last year when he was forced to throw the ball in that playoff game?
Again, this is
in the
we're not
AFC
talking about the
Championship
past.
game.
Your Honor, can I
What do you mean we're not talking about? It's all about the past. The regular season is the past.
No.
Not
Your
that
Honor,
last postseason.
I like to say this, that the MVP is a regular season award, not a postseason award. By the way, Your Honor.
Duly noted.
All right, so let's just give somebody the MVP for the regular season, and then it's trash in the playoffs.
The award is a regular season award. All this emphasis on what Lamar did in the past in the playoffs means absolutely nothing. And you want to talk about Josh Allen in the playoffs? Didn't they host the playoff game last year? How did that go for him?
He's done better than Lamar.
Oh, he's like one of the best playoff quarterbacks ever early on.
No. I'm saying he hosted a game last year against the Kansas. How did that work out?
Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
All
could
right.
have just said, Matt, they had a better regular season. They finished with a better record.
Yeah. Both are trying to use the court for their own agendas. All right, we have got to make a ruling on this. The last time the first team All-Pro quarterback, which if I'm not mistaken, is expected to, it's one Lamar Jackson. The last time the first team All-Pro quarterback and MVP quarterback were not the same. 1987, John Elway won the MVP.
Wow.
And Joe Montana was first team All-Pro. It's tough to make this decision.
Let's do it again.
But I have to make this decision. And the fact that Lamar Jackson has been an MVP twice with amazing numbers in the regular season, mind you, and he's gone over and above those numbers, just shellacking some of his old records with 41 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. This season, the first player ever with over 40 touchdown passes, fewer than 5 in a season. I give the MVP to Lamar Jackson.
So do I take Matt to jail?
I think you should, Bailiff. Get him out of here. Okay, don't forget, Campione Law, those are the ones. This may be a bit of a clowning of the court, but if you are in a serious situation, make sure you get in touch with Campione Law. You can log on, CampioneLaw.com. Know that they are local. They will take care of you, and whatever you might be needing legal help with, definitely check out Campione Law. I love my wig. I love my robe.
Yeah, you look good. I mean, Lamar's far and away the MVP. It's not even close.
I know, but you're the public defender.
No, I mean, we're away from that now. Right, I was handed the case. It's not even, 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. That's insane.
But
I think it's going to be pretty close.
It is, because the other part of it, and the reason why I wanted to put that stat out to begin with, is that both of these guys, in other words, only 3 times in NFL history has this happened. Lamar has now done it twice, but Josh was right there with him this year. And as our bailiff correctly pointed out, one team's traveling to the other team's place, meaning Josh Allen, even though he got his butt beat by the Baltimore Ravens, they are hosting the Baltimore Ravens.
By the way, 41 touchdowns, 4 picks. He also had 915 rush yards.
So it's incredible what he did this year. And he went past other staggering numbers that he already had put out.
If anyone else is named MVP, it's a travesty.
Yeah.
He's far and away the best player right now.
But let's just at least leave this here for now, and then we'll get back into some of the other stuff.
Until we get to the postseason, because then it's Mahomes.
Yeah, but honestly, Lamar's got to win 2 games in a postseason. That's what he's trying to prove right now, more than anything else. Exercise that demon. But Josh Allen and Joe Brady, who might be one of the serious candidates to land a head coaching job, and who knows, it could be right here in Duval. He was the one that was charged with make Josh better. And he said, we got to clean up the poor throws. We're going to have some showcase runs for you, but we are going to use the run. And we're going to make sure that we have a run game to balance things out. And they've done it, man, marvelously. And so he actually surrendered some stats just to make sure that he was better. And that actually would be kind of a pretty good argument to make him the most valuable, even though his stats weren't as big. Those are wise words from a wise man. All right?
With a white wig on.
Yeah, with a white wig.
Yeah.
All right. It's XL Primetime. We will keep going. Wouldn't you love to have one of those? Oh, wait a minute. You could have had Lamar Jackson here in Jacksonville. Instead, they went with Taven Bryan.
Your radio highlight reel.
Caught for the touchdown.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey guys, it's your boy E.T. And you need a little extra boost in the bedroom? Blue Chew is what you need. By now, you probably know that Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, and Staxin in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. So what you waiting for? Blue Chew is all online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Plus, it ships right to your front door in a discreet package. Their licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strengths for your prescription. Guys, if you don't like swallowing pills, no problem. Blue Chew is chewable. And ready for a great offer? How about free? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month free. Turn that oh no into a oh yeah. Just chew it and do it. Visit BlueChew.com.
Happy New Year from everyone at Nimnick Chevrolet. Frank Frangie here. As we kick off 2025, there's no better time to find your next vehicle. Start the year strong with the best selection, unbeatable prices, and a team that's here to help you every step of the way. Because when it comes to putting you first, there's nobody but Nimnick. Remember, Nimnick Chevrolet is your Silverado headquarters. With the largest inventory on the ground, your perfect truck is waiting for you at Nimnick. Visit the showroom on Cassett Avenue or head to nimnickchevy.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. This Saturday is our monthly card show inside Showtime. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., we'll have around 20 tables of our trusted vendors selling football, baseball, basketball, and Pokemon cards. Saturday from 9 to 4 at Showtime. Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe. Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
He's not Pistol Pete, he's Pete Prisco.
Been on the wanted list almost 20 years.
CBS Sports senior NFL writer Pete Prisco joins the Frangie Show Friday afternoons on 1010XL. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles.
Yup, E.T. here. And are you a golfer or a runner? Well, Clay County has you covered. The Hellcat 5K and 10K on Saturday, January 18th is at the historic Lee Field in Green Cove Springs, winding through a historic World War II neighborhood. Then, February 5th through the 7th, watch the top talent compete in the 2025 Clay County Open at Eagle Harbor Golf and Country Club. This pro tournament boasts golfers chasing the PGA Tour dream. For info on both events, visit the event calendar on explorerclay.com.
Frank Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. It's cold outside, and the best way to stay warm this winter is with the new Bono's limited time offer, a signature Bono's barbecue sandwich paired with your choice of savory super chili, starting at just $11.99. Your choice of a pulled pork, smoked turkey, smoked sausage, char-grilled chicken, or beef brisket sandwich, plus a bowl of a hot, delicious soup or chili. You can't beat that deal, so hurry into Bono's. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Dan and Jeff are going to be live from the brand new showroom at Tyson Sound and Security this Friday. You have to check out Tyson's showroom home theater with surround sound and comfy theater chairs. You can transform your living room into a cinematic experience. Did I mention Friday morning you can enter to win a $2,500 prize giveaway? Bring the theater experience home. Tyson Sound and Security, now at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
When it's time for new tires, you can count on Big Chief Tire for quality and value. Frank Frangie here. Their expert team will help you quickly find the right fit, ensuring a safe, comfortable ride. With quality options, fair prices, and quick installation, you'll be back on the road in no time. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 today to schedule your appointment and roll into 2025 with great confidence. Big Chief Tire keeps Jack rolling.
Hey, Hicken here with a message from Zero Res. Guess what? We love rugs. We'll treat your fine Oriental rugs with tender, loving care they deserve. How about Gerard, the Zero Res rug cleaning manager, one of the few certified master rug cleaners in the state of Florida? If you want your rugs cleaned with tender, loving care, call Zero Res. Right now, have one rug washed and we'll wash a second rug free. That's right, buy one, the second one on me. Zero Res, spell it forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Our next guest is not affiliated with the NFL or Jacksonville Jaguars.
Discussion of injuries is solely based on opinion.
Now, the Bari Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Breakdown.
I'm coming in hot.
Gio has made it into the building. Dr. George Bari. Gio, how are you, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. We're trying to stay away from the cold. Like, if we could get a fireplace in the 1010XL studios, I'd be happy.
Matt has a beanie on.
Matt's got the beanie on.
Man.
He's so cold. This 12 days of winter, it sucks.
It does.
Yeah. Are you an embrace the cold weather guy?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Not one bit.
No, everything hurts when it's cold too.
Yeah.
But Leon did give us that pep talk earlier because he says as long as he can see. What'd you say?
Yeah, as long as you can find some sunshine. Put
That's
it
true.
on
When
your
the
face.
sun's out,
Positive way of looking at it.
Yeah.
it's not as bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a poster your fifth grade teacher would have on a wall.
It is. I kind
I
of
was
like it.
influenced by a fifth grader.
Yeah, that's right. And everything, you're smarter than a fifth grader, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything you learned, you should have learned in kindergarten, right? All right, so if you have a sports injury question, Dr. George Bari, fellowship trained under the round, Dr. James Andrews, so you can jump on in with a question, 641-1010, hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. And really right now, with the 4 teams we have left on each side, the AFC and the NFC, we're down to the divisional round, and we're trying to figure out who's what, and they're not going to maybe some are not going to be at full strength. The 2 bigger questions, Zay Flowers with a knee, and you saw what it looked like, Gio. There's no real way for us to know exactly what it is or how severe it is, but he did miss practice today. What was that, JJ, according to Ian Rappaport?
Yeah, his knee.
Yeah, and so it is a knee, and remember I told you when we looked at the video, you could look like the top of the shin.
Right.
And I was thinking any number of things, hyperextension, whatever. But anyway, we're now looking at the possibility of him missing 2 straight games.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because there really has been nothing said about it, but just his knee.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hint of anything. They didn't mention what it may be. So it's tough to say. All we know is that they claim it's not season ending.
Right.
Which could also not be true if they just want to make the other team prep for him, and maybe they'll hold out. Who knows? But, I mean, right now it's just conjecture. I think it's tough to say. I think if they lose, then we'll know for sure. They'll come out and say what it was. But the fact that he's not playing and it's Wednesday is obviously not a great sign for him. What could it be? Could it be a multitude of things. MCL, meniscus. You can have an ACL strain. I mean, who knows what it is? But he was definitely holding, the top of his tibia and his knee over there when it happened.
Yeah, I always hope like heck that these guys are going to be able to come back because you want to see teams at full strength. Now, the other guy they're trying to get back and be 100% is David Montgomery. And Montgomery did have the injury that he decided to put off surgery and try and come back from. And he's been out for, what would you say, guys? 6 weeks, something in that neighborhood. Does that sound right, Leon?
Yeah, about right.
Yeah, something like that. And so instead of him missing the rest of the season, he decided he was going to lay out, do rehab instead of electing surgery. And they hope that he's going to be back this weekend.
Yeah, I think he had an MCL injury.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what type of rigorous rehab would he be doing to get back?
Well, I mean, it's interesting. He went from MCL needing a surgery to now
they've decided, elected to put it off.
And how long has he been out when this happened?
Let me see if I can find exactly. Yeah, because
a couple weeks ago.
No, I would put him at 6 weeks.
Oh, 6 weeks.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd put him somewhere in that neighborhood, 5 to 6 weeks.
The fact that he had an MCL injury and they said he needs surgery means it was completely ripped off, right? And let's pretend that he said, I want surgery, but after the initial injury, the edema calmed down, the pain kind of calmed down. You still have that instability, right? So now the pain has gone down, but your knee is still very unstable. Can he wear a brace, a big metal braces that Leon used to wear, right, to prevent it? It's possible. You could, but it's not, a replacement for an MCL. You're still gonna have some instability and some micromotion. So I don't know if that's feasible. We'll see if he wears a brace. If does play and wears a brace,
right?
But it's just kind of weird to go from you need surgery to actually I think I'm going to play when it's an MCL injury, because that's the stability of your knee. And to have a tear and them say automatically it needs a surgery as opposed to waiting it out, it's just it's kind of just doesn't make sense. Obviously, there's some things that they're holding back. We don't know the full details of it, but
But if you initially say you need surgery, you need surgery.
Right. I would say so. Right.
So he's going to try and play through it then.
It's not like he had a grade 2 MCL where it's like, let me see how I feel, give it a couple weeks. He got injured. They said he needed surgery basically right after. And then he's like, no, I'm not going to have it.
And they went for the second opinion. They kind of went down that road. And yeah, they really did. They just tried to put it off as long as possible.
The knee is not as unstable as it would be with an ACL, right?
Well, it's different, right? So it's different. The ACL prevents anterior-posterior motion. The MCL prevents knock knee to inside motion, right? So there's very different motions. He's not going to be just like an ACL. You can't cut. Your knee is gonna open up. Is going to gap open when you put that valgus stress. It's going to be very difficult.
Is it going to look like Best in Show when she's walking the dog with her knees when it's all?
I don't know that one.
You don't. You
Great
never saw
movie.
Best in Show?
One of the best movies ever made.
Gotta go watch it, man. What was her name, Joe? She's walking the dog on her knees, just all like noodle.
I don't know.
You never saw Best in Show? Wow, you guys.
JJ just said it was
honestly
great.
one of the best.
It's like a mockumentary. It's like basically that. What's
on the Westminster Dog Show.
Westminster Dog Show. Yeah.
I think I might have seen a little bit of it.
Dude, it is like Eugene Levy's in it. All the greats.
You know what? Are you telling me it should have held my interest? All right, listen, you guys.
Man, I don't want to commandeer the segment here, but it's Gio.
Top 10.
I'm telling you right now, go watch it.
Okay, listen.
So she hurts her knee and she's trying to walk the dog like all everybody else. You're jogging as you walk the.
Right.
You've seen it, right? But her knee is like so messed up, it's like literally wobbling back and forth.
Here's the beautiful thing about me. You can show me a movie one week, next week I can see it again like I never saw it. It's just everything's brand new to me.
But deal with that every Sunday.
I was trying to make a joke and it's turned into a 2-minute commentary.
But I do feel like I might have seen Best in Show, but I have no recollection of it. All right, so let's get a sports injury question in, because I got to ask you about Chris Jones too, the Kansas City Chiefs defensive tackle who they're trying to bring back. But this one is, hey Doc. Question for the doctor. I'm 36, but I keep having lower foot pain towards my heel. This came in last week on Primetime. What can I do about this?
It depends what you mean by lower foot pain towards the heel. Is it in the back or is it underneath where you step? If it's underneath where you step, you could have a Baxter's nerve, or it's kind of a nerve that gets impinged there. You could try cortisone shot. You can maybe plantar fasciitis, because that's also where it shows up. If it's the back of the heel towards where it rubs on the back of the shoe.
Right.
You could have a Haglund's deformity where your Achilles tendon attaches and is rubbing on it. So it kind of depends. Back of the heel is a little bit vague, so it just depends on exactly where the pain is exactly.
All right, I'm going to try and get one more in, but let's also bring up Chris Jones, who has a calf strain. And, Leon, I don't know whether you ever had a calf strain, but you were a 300-plus pound man. Chris Jones is a 300-plus pound man. That would be kind of – because that's where you're trying to – generate as much power, lower half of your body, right?
It sounds like a Charlie horse.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what it does. If it's anything like a Charlie horse, it's painful.
It hurts like a mother.
Yes.
So calf strain could be kind of serious.
Yeah, I mean, serious is a little, I think excessive, but it could hurt, right? It hurts and it's sore and you can't stretch your calf, you can't push off on it. And so that's one of those things where therapy can greatly help. They massage it out, they stretch it out, try to get it to rehab quickly. I don't think it's going to be that. When did he hurt it?
He has been out for a couple of weeks.
Because of the calf strain?
Yeah. Well, no, because they've been able to rest.
Okay.
They're on a 21-day rest.
Yeah, he's going to be rusty.
It's the beautiful thing that they did. When they won, I believe that was Christmas Day. That Saturday, no, it was Saturday that week. They played Wednesday, Christmas Day, and then Saturday. And then they rested their players week 18 and have this past week off. Anyway, a 21-day deal. So,
yeah, he should be fine. I mean, 21 days, you should be fine from a calf strain.
Calf strain, 21 days? Get milk with the cookies?
All right, here's another one, Gio, off the text line. By the way, Maddie, Catherine O'Hara
Catherine O'Hare.
Yeah, Catherine. Thank you, texters. You guys are all over it. Best in Show classic, and Catherine O'Hare mentioned.
Yeah, she's Eugene Levy's wife in that movie.
And is Eugene Levy in
American Pie?
He's one with the big eyebrows.
Up the
bigger
creek
than mine.
too. Up the creek.
Yes.
Which is also underrated.
Not Up the Creek.
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
The bad word
saved?
creek.
Yeah, but it's the way it's spelled is why you get away with
SCHITT. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get in trouble. All right. So, texter asking this question, Gio. Slap tear in my shoulder. Speaking of up, it's creek. Slap tear in my shoulder. How long is the recovery process? Hurt my shoulder in the Army Airborne. We salute you.
Recovery is in like surgery?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Right? Did they say surgery?
It just says slap tear in my shoulder. Didn't say just how long is the recovery process.
I'm assuming surgery.
Airborne ops.
6 weeks in a sling, and you're looking at 4 to 6 months after that, right? So it just depends. But it's 6 weeks in a sling, which is already at a month and a half. So, and when I mean 4 to 6 months, I mean 4 to 6 months after surgery. So,
all right. So if you guys got one more question, you can throw it at us, and we will try and work it on Breaking Bones, which is Sunday morning at 7:30. 641-1010. You can definitely hit us with one, Gio, if they want to catch any of our podcasts.
Apple, Google, Spotify, and the illustrious 1010XL website.
And by the way, you guys are featured on our show quite a bit, so you can go back and find it anytime you want. Real quick before you leave, because you got to watch this. I will watch it too. I'm a bit of a movie snob, says our texter.
I just showed him it. The video.
Critical of most comedies. Best in Show, one of the best movies of my generation.
100%. You forgot the last part. Great taste from Matt and JJ. He didn't want to give you props.
That's sad, Joe.
Yeah. No, I was going to say it. What a hater. Gio was leaning over.
He saw the video of her knee buckling.
Yeah.
So Eugene Levy has 2 left feet in that movie, right? So like he has to end up walking the dog at the end. On the whatever stage, and he with his literally 2 left feet.
Don't blow it for him. Let him watch it.
Oh, it's such a great movie.
All right,
man.
you got homework before next week.
The character acting.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it. Is it on Netflix or something?
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Netflix or Prime. Yeah, I guarantee he's going to text me at like midnight one night and go, "Oh my God, it's the best movie ever."
All right. Don't forget, Bari Orthopedics all over the First Coast. You can check out our man, especially if you've got joint pain. He can fix it. It is XL Primetime on a golf club of Southampton Wednesday.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Mia here. Since 1982, Closets by Design has specialized in creating dream spaces for every budget. My designer, Frances, made the process so easy. She came to my house and designed a walk-in closet that's not only beautiful, but incredibly functional for me and Beau Valentine. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation at 800-293-3744 or visit closetsbydesign.com and take advantage of their 40% off New Year savings this month only, including 18-month special financing. Closets by Design.
Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning has your back. Start the year fresh. No leaks, no clogs, no excuses. Call Duck Rooter at 904-862-6769 today. Because when you're stuck, call the Duck. Right now, get $50 off any service of $150 or more.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate Submit today.
State license CCC 1335410.
This State in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On January 15, 1965, one of the biggest trades in NBA history took place as San Francisco Warriors sent NBA legend Wilt Chamberlain to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Attention men and women. If you'd like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Don't go through another year with all that high-interest debt. Let Loan Pronto wipe it all out now. Hey, it's Prosser here, and Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan makes it easy to pay off all your credit cards or tackle that 2025 home improvement project. Get cash in your pocket fast. No appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's AI-driven tech gets you approved and funded in as little as 1 day. One client got $150,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off all their credit cards, 2 cars, and personal loans, saving over $1,500 per month. With low fixed rates and lightning fast transfers, you can do it too. Consolidate debt, improve your home, take control of your finances. Imagine being credit card debt-free by this time next week. You can. Don't wait. Call Loan Pronto now, 904-999-1508, or visit loanpronto.com. Get your free quote now with no hard credit pull at 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, my takeaway is that, believe it or not, I'm not in a rush for this coaching hire. I want this. I want to get it right, bro. I want some time and some effort put into this thing to make sure we get it right. The Urban Meyer thing was a debacle. Doug Peterson's 2 and done. I mean, they're 3 and done actually.
Well, but 2 good ones.
Yeah, 2 good ones. Yeah, then he was done. I mean, this organization needs some stability, at the coaching position. I mean, these runoffs of these coaching staffs is not healthy for the organization. You need to find someone that could be here the next half a decade or whatever. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I want it so bad. I'm with you.
My takeaway is it's the best weekend for NFL football this weekend. The divisional round games are awesome. It's where everybody just goes all out, man. This is what it's all about this weekend. Clearly the Super Bowl is the biggest game of all that, but this is where you really see the good games, and you see multiple games, which is what's good.
But even though we did have pretty much blowouts in 5 of the 6 games, well, yeah, pretty much. I love both the wild card weekend because there's 6 and then 4. There's just so many good games.
I just think you got some really potential.
This week we get the good teams playing,
fourth quarter, last possession games on tap here is what I think.
Yeah, I hope so. Even though there's still 2 that are kind of heavy dogs, more than 1 score dogs in Houston.
Texans are going to play well, I think.
In Washington. Yeah.
They played well in that wild card game too, man.
All right, my takeaway is that one of our diehard 1010 texters, and maybe this happens in the 9 o'clock nasty, and JJ can vouch for it, but he texts and he says, Joe C says, Dan Hickens says, Bleeps Creek
I've
all
heard
the
him
time.
say it. I've heard him say it.
And as long as you know the show, I just wanted to make sure. Look, I don't need to get in trouble. Okay, Hickens.
Also, Dan Hicken can do whatever he
he's
wants.
a Teflon.
Right. No kidding. Hick is like literally
Can't compare us to
carte
that.
blanche to do whatever he wants.
It's a Teflon man. We're just the lunch bunch, as he used to call us.
Right.
So I got to be cautious there. But anyway, it is a funny show, and it's one of those that just hung out there for a while. And how many seasons I can't quite remember, but we would just go and binge watch it, mindless, just sit back
not
and
many,
laugh.
probably like 4 seasons, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Like Arrested Development is the best short binge watching show that I can think of because it's 26 minutes and boom, right on to the next one.
6 seasons actually for this.
How many?
6.
Okay. All right. Not bad.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it's not Doug Heffernan. Come on. It's not King of Queens.
Well, they're classics, okay?
Right, that's
Doug
way up
and
here.
Carrie, Doug and Carrie. They're classics. Don't touch those.
But there's only like 13 episodes in each season of this, so it's really not that much.
Yeah. And I just happened to throw Friends on the other night because it's kind of that mindless one you go to sleep with. TLD loves it. But their first season,
It's just not great.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for me at all.
Dude, that show's not. It doesn't hold up.
like I just said, it's just kind of the mindless in TLD, and she likes it. So anyway, the thing I was
Nothing against TLD.
right,
Just,
yeah.
yeah.
The thing I was zeroing in on is that their first season, 23 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, whoa.
That's rare for a first season.
Seinfeld
Yes.
had one of those. One of the Seinfeld seasons.
Well,
was like that.
Seinfeld, like the later seasons, had all of them were 20, I think.
Were they
plus.
really?
Yeah, but the first couple were very short.
Yeah, because Jerry, after 10 episodes, I think they signed for 10 episodes, and then they came back and they wanted more, and they're like,
Like
are
3
you
or-
kidding?
There's
got
only
nothing left.
nine episodes in the first season of Seinfeld.
Season 3 or 4, there's a lot, right? Like one of those middle seasons, there's like just a
Oh, yeah,
ton.
that's when they all take off. Like season 3 is when it starts 23, 24. Like, oh,
Because
yeah.
it was just
They're
so
cranking
funny.
them out by season 3.
Yeah, when Jerry and Larry, they're like, we got nothing left. What do you mean you want more? We got nothing. That's how the whole show started.
And then he had how many seasons of Curb left in him?
yeah.
More.
Yeah,
I
plenty.
think there's more Curb epissodes than Seinfeld.
Yeah, there might be.
episodes.
Oh, yeah, I guess I wouldn't doubt that. That is something. All right, so real quick, let's just stay on the coaching search since Leon said it. I don't want it to go fast, and I totally agree. And we have to remind ourselves, once you go through that first round of interviews, everyone's trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do. And then you have basically teams that have coaching candidates on their coaching staff that are still in the postseason. They wall them off. You're not going to be able to talk to them again. You're not going to have the second round of interviews. So if you were to predict a timeline, week before the Super Bowl, they're hiring somebody, or what are you feeling? Because that's
what I'm
basically
thinking.
3 weeks from now.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Super Bowl week, more than likely. And that gives them how many weeks?
Well, 2.5.
2.5 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I think they've known for now how long they're going to fire him? 6 weeks?
I would think so. I maintain.
I mean, once it hit 2-11,
Yeah. I maintain that I didn't think there was anything he could do in the end against subpar football teams that would showcase, hey, this team has turned a corner, because they were a loser and they were going up against losers. So it's not like they were going to say, hey,
and then they lost.
Right, and we beat X, X, and X. They only won 2 games down the stretch. And by the way, Mac has 2 wins and Trevor has 2 wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had to know.
Don't do that. Why are you feeding those guys in the text line that are screaming about
I was looking at
Trevor
some of the
Lawrence has to
I
go?
was looking at some of the stats, and they were actually kind of similar.
You're just feeding that lunacy is what you're doing, man.
I'll do it again tomorrow too. Actually, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that after the Detroit game, they should have been coach searching after that.
That's what most people thought.
Because initially I thought they were going to get fired after that game.
Yeah.
So after that debacle.
Should have.
Should have got fired.
I think Trevor thought that was going to happen, and I think Doug thought that was going to happen. Like, everyone was surprised.
Yeah, all the reporting, because it was going into the bye week, and, and the yacht was parked out
I was going to say, the problem is the guy who's indifferent about everything doesn't care.
Well, the yacht was parked, and they thought that, drop anchor, that you're coming in and you're ready to make changes. And he might have begun the process then. To Matt's point, we know we're not going to retain. We're going to go on. And anyway, it just is so frustrating that it ended the way it ended. And I did a piece on social today that you were okay with them getting rid of 1, but they didn't get rid of 2. And so that makes you, okay, let's look for something new, but then you're stuck with something old. And that is still what's tearing at Jaguar fans, is because, yeah, the potential of something good may be right around the corner, but the old dude is still going to help have a hand in making the decision. And that's just not good. And I know that's what's driving fans crazy. All right, let's throw this out with a bold fact right now.
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
Bold City Brewery, you can log on. You can find them right there on Bay Street, downtown Jacksonville. As soon as you empty off of the Main Street Bridge and you hang right there at Bay Street, you'll see them there. And then, of course, their production house on Roselle Street in Riverside, which is always an outstanding place to go and hang out and get you a good smash burger or any of the other great menu items. That's for sure. You had the fish bites there last week or a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Outstanding. Along with our XLP Hazy IPA. So you can drop on by and enjoy any of the great crafts that they have at Bold City. So Monday night.
That's a cool little place, by the way.
It is so fun.
It's a fun little, you would never know it until you got in it.
Yeah, it's just old school. Yeah. That's why it is Duval's oldest brewery. So the Vikings, they did lose Monday night, but you might have argued that they were the best wild card team in NFL history. Because look at what they did. Six-game win streak to start. Lost 2, then ran off 8 more wins before they ended up 14-3. We know that they got bounced, but they're the first to win 14 games and end up as a wild card. The first.
I'm not sure that you can say any team with Sam Darnold as quarterback is the best at anything.
He was looking good for a long time. Now, Mr. Revisionist History.
They had the best record of any wild card.
Revisionist history. It's just when the playoffs began, Sam Darnold.
But I'm saying up until that last week, you were on Minnie, he was on Minnie. I can go.
No, I was against Minnie the whole time. Remember? And then at that one time, I said I'm against them the whole time. I'm going to pick 4, and then they lose.
All right. Well, 14-game winner, in part because it's a 17-game schedule, but they do have a slightly better winning percentage than the teams that were wild card teams as 13-game winners.
Okay.
I need the names of those other teams that were the best win percentage wild card team, just barely beaten out by the Minnesota Vikings. I need the name of the squad.
One of them's got have just one?
Yeah, just one.
Man, I want to say it's like when the Cowboys and the Giants back in the early 90s when the Cowboys were winning. Didn't the Giants, like, they were, one was 14-2 and one was 13-3 or something like that? I want to say that.
I want to say when.
I'm going to say the Giants. Do you need the year too?
No, I'm really zeroing in just for one particular thing right now. So
it's not that.
Yeah. And you, in fact, may have the right answer, Matt. I will grant you that, but I am zeroing in on one particular thing.
Okay.
Leon, do you have a guess?
I want to say when Minnesota was 15-1, Green Bay might have been 13-3.
That was another good one.
I'm gonna go with that one.
What were the Titans when you guys?
The Titans. Well, we were 14-2.
What were they?
They were 13-3.
There we go. That is it. That's what we were looking for. A little yes, sir, right there. And I did it.
Yes, sir. I remember you saying they beat us all 3 times, and I'm thinking, well, then their record had to have been pretty good.
Yeah. I did it just to bring up more pain. We had pain yesterday with the 2-year anniversary, and this is basically the 35-year anniversary of, 25-year anniversary of that. 1999, which was in 2000 when they played, and they had the Music City Miracle, and then they came here, and it was honestly 14-2 versus 13-3. And
well, we were up there. Listen, we were
First
up.
night teaming up on that, by the way.
Yeah, we were up 14-0. And then all unraveled.
There's no winning. There's only a winner.
Well, how are you up 14-0 at home in the AFC
they play
Championship
that music
game,
that
man? How does that even happen?
Well, I mean, interception in the end zone, punt return,
fumble.
safety.
Hang on, wait a second. Hang on, what is this?
All that.
All
that. You want to shake me? Yeah.
I rip the side, I play, don't make me. You can't ride a lineman. I eat them for lunch.
See, I try to make this about me, but if we had gone to the Super Bowl, this song would have been platinum.
Legendary, yes.
Would have been gold.
There would be a gold record on the wall at that stadium, and you guys won the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
That would have been so good. Anyway, it got me when I saw it. I'm like, you son of a guns. It just hurt so bad. It did, but yeah, they're one of the more successful of 13-win teams, and Minnesota just barely got past them with their win percentage this year. But that's where we are. Let's just hope we're going in a better direction soon. Let's hope that the light might come on and Shad look around and go, you know what? There's not enough in that building that makes me want to keep going the way it is, because I'm hearing more and more about how people don't want to come in and work with Trent. And I'm hoping he's talking to people and getting some of that sense that's out there when it comes to the carousel. Robert Saleh is now going to interview with the Dallas Cowboys. Brian Flores is now on the Jags interview list, so he will interview, later on this week, now that the Vikings have been eliminated. Saleh certainly has history here with Jacksonville, and I like him from an organizational standpoint and from a defensive standpoint, but I don't know how he was up in New York for 4 years.
Yeah.
And they didn't quite turn the corner, and he was saddled with having to play Zach Wilson after them going and getting Aaron Rodgers, and he played a handful of different quarterbacks in his time up there. So I don't know whether he'll be can he bring in a good coordinator like we were talking about earlier today?
You know, the interesting thing is we've all kind of, I guess it's kind of like understood that Aaron Rodgers is a diva, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if he's really as big of a pain in the A as it seemed after that Jets season,
right?
I mean, doesn't LaFleur have to give more credit? Doesn't McCarthy have to get more credit for managing that?
I really would like to know, when the pride of Chico, California, which is where most of my family's from, when he did become just a horse's behind. And was he always that way? Was he always
a little bit that way in Cal? He was.
Yeah,
he was a little bit.
Because I do believe that he was, aloof. There's no question about that. But he just became more of that as he went along towards the end.
Well, I think Aaron Rodgers has always been smug and arrogant, but because he won MVPs and he won games, that it was just accepted.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's lost and he's losing games, now it's more recognizable now that they're not winning ball games.
Yeah.
He's always hated people, which I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
But I
like people.
I do too, but I can see that side is what I'm saying. I can easily see that side. I think it's just what, like Leon said, once you get to a different situation where there's not, again, the pieces around him, where it's different, then his little annex and his mannerisms on the field when a play doesn't happen or something doesn't go his way, then you start to say, he's like a turd, man.
Yeah, he's a slow-mo producer's dream.
Yeah.
That, all right, run that back in slow-mo, and you can just see all that disgust in his face. But he went down that road, and Brian Gutekunst and those guys that were running Green Bay, they were trying to do whatever they could to keep him happy as long as they could, and then they finally said, we can't do it anymore, and we all know that he left and everything like that. And then he called his shots when he went to New York as well. So it's just a strange existence the way it has ended up with him. And I don't know whether he'll come back and play another year there.
Think about that. McCarthy's dealt with him, then went to the Cowboys and dealt with Jerry.
Top to bottom,
My
right?
gosh.
One below him, one above him. And he, by all accounts, got along with McCarthy, and then he kind of ended up throwing him under the bus towards the end. And then they got Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur he looked like a great coach right from the jump because he had Aaron Rodgers quarterback in his club. They went to the NFC Championship game, at least the divisional round, 4 straight years, and maybe the championship game, 3 of those 4. All right, so we got to say goodbye, but this is just another one that I'm glad the texter pointed out, because that 1999, when you it hurts so bad, but also it's being pointed out, it's the anniversary today of 62-7. That should make you
well done, bro. That was a hell of a game.
That should make you feel good.
It does,
because,
a little bit.
Yeah, because
you forced
that one,
Jimmy out. You forced Jimmy out with that one.
I didn't take any pleasure in it.
And Danny Marino.
Maybe Marino a little bit.
Yeah, Mr. Isotoners.
Yeah, him.
You ran him right out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Mr. Isotoner was at the Orange Bowl game.
He was.
In his suite.
Loving it.
Yeah, of course. He just goes to any big game in that stadium, man. Yes, of course it is. Good for him.
Good life. All right, we are out. We say thanks to the Golf Club of Southampton. It may be cold today, but it's not always cold all the time. So enjoy it. You can go out there. 287 play. Find out about their membership opportunities right now, because they're giving you that deep discount where you get $1,000 off. You got 12 months of membership, pay the initiation fee, $1,000 off, and then also $500 in the Pro Shop. Take advantage of it. All the details are on their Facebook page or at golfsouthampton.com. We done. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Searcy, and JJ. You got the Francis Show coming up next.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.
This time I got it right, okay?
Sunshine.
I'm talking about the beat.